Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Jasmine with Ethereal Pathways. I am going to do a collective channel message for you, what you need to know today to assist your journey and for your highest and greatest good. I've already asked Archangel Michael to cleanse this space and, Archangel Gabriel to come in and protect the messages. Only the highest, the messages for your highest and greatest good. That's what I was trying to say. To come through for you, what you need to know at this time. Before I got into that space, when I was cleansing the space with Paula Santo, before I started recording, I was getting this song in my head, Best of My Love by the song by The Emotions, and it came out in 1977. So 77 may resonate for you as a number synchronicity, or you may be born in 77. And that song also may be a sign of confirmation for you. May resonate for you. Again, I always say with my messages, take what resonates and leave what doesn't for somebody else, because I do channel for multiple people, a lot of people, and in the collective. And anytime you're catching this video, if it comes across your feed, it doesn't matter how long ago I post it. If you're pulled to it, there's probably a message in here for you, because I do not believe in coincidences. And my intention is always that the people that need to see these messages will see them when they need to see them. So again, take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't for somebody else. If it doesn't resonate, we don't need to, I guess, know. I try to keep it positive. I ask that people keep your comments positive on this, because we are all going through a lot of difficult things on our ascension journey and our spiritual awakening journey and personal development. And, yes, things could trigger people, but I say it's not meant to hurt anybody's feelings. If something comes through that triggers you, it's meant to help you see something within yourself that maybe you need to see to work on. If you do get triggered, I always say that because that's what happens to me, and that's what been my experience. If something triggered me, it usually kept coming up in maybe other readings that I was watching on my ascension journey, and then I started being pushed to look at that, like why I was being triggered by certain things. So I always say for your highest and greatest good that these messages come through, because that could be what this is for, and it could be triggering you. Something could trigger you that wasn't, maybe for you. I'm saying this for some reason because I don't normally say this stuff. So again, take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't for somebody else. But thank you so much for all your love and support on this channel. I'm going to tune in to the energy and see what messages needs to come through. I might take a few moments to meditate of silence. Feel free to fast forward if it's a little while. But yeah, I'm just going to tune in real quick and see what comes through, what signs of confirmation or messages will come through, and then I'll pull oracle cards and signs cards. Thank you, Spirit. What messages or signs of confirmation does the collective need to hear at this time? The collective watching this video. Green aventurine came through. I don't know how to say that stone. I think I messed up the pronunciation of that. Green aventurine. I'm going to write that down. You may be guided to work with that stone. I just saw a jackrabbit. You can look up the spiritual meaning of a jackrabbit, or maybe you saw a jackrabbit recently. That's not something that I guess people, I don't think I've ever seen a jackrabbit. But again, take it as it resonates. And maybe something, a message there for somebody to go look up the spiritual meaning of a jackrabbit, and that may be energy that, it may resonate for somebody. Songs may be significant for you in your connection with spirit or a loved one. Maybe get songs through music. I'm writing this down. Messages, songs sometimes bring messages from loved ones or your guides or your higher self. Temperance. So the Temperance in tarot, that's a Temperance card. If you're not familiar with tarot, that's a Sagittarius, sign of Sagittarius for that card. But it's talking about tempering your emotions, trying to regulate, self-regulate, stay tempered, don't fly off the handle, don't, be wishy-washy. But I don't know why that wishy-washy came out, but temperance, it came out for a reason, obviously. But temperance is just tempering your emotions, trying to stay even and tempered no matter what's going on in your life around you from external forces, a spiritual warfare I'm hearing. So you may be guided to, work on that, or you have been doing that. You have been working on tempering your emotions, and you've been, being more and more guided to do that and removing emotional detachment from situations going on around you is what I'm getting. And maybe it's chaos or tower moments going on around you. Spiritual warfare attacks coming in, trying to tempt you into flying in a rage or in a triggered response. So that's what I'm getting for somebody. Again, take it if it resonates. So you may be working on that at this time and tempering your emotions and trying not to respond as quickly or at, the way that you typically would respond in the past. You would have responded in the past. You're working on that. So that's good. That's what we need all to be working on that. What else, Spirit? I think I was just showing that's crazy that I just saw that correlation between the group that sang that song that I brought through a minute ago. They're called The Emotions. And I just realized that that's what temperance is talking about. Tempering your emotions. And that includes passion for somebody. So if somebody's got some sexual desire for somebody else, they're tempering that too. I'm getting that because now I'm feeling that wave coming up through my body, warmness. And so I feel like that's also a sign for somebody that they're trying to, I feel like somebody's wanting to come in and communicate, and they're trying to temper their passion and their emotions for this person to speak their truth. And this has been coming out a lot about somebody holding back, and they're trying to come through and speak their truth and being guided to speak their truth. Throat chakras come through a lot. Heart chakra and sacral has come through somewhat. And they're regulating themselves. They're working on regulating that and tempering that. But again, take it as it resonates, because some of you have been working on overall just tempering your emotions for anger, triggering responses and things like that. You've been working on healing those triggers and those wounds and detaching emotionally and looking at your patterns and working on healing that and releasing the fear behind it. So you're doing good. That's good. What else, Spirit, does the collective need to know at this time? Yeah, somebody is being guided to come forward to you. I feel like this is a feminine collective I'm talking to when I say this. But take it as it resonates. When I say feminine, again, I always say this, it's not gender specific. This is energy. So whoever is in the more feminine energy most of the time, I could be talking to them. That's what I'm saying. Who's in the more masculine energy most of the time, then they're being guided towards a feminine to speak some kind of truth, and be tempered when they come in. I'm writing this down. I'm getting apology and feelings, emotions that he has for this feminine. So specifically, he's being guided to temper his passion and his emotions, you know, like overflowing. I'm seeing the like ace of cups, like overflowing emotion for this feminine. He's being guided to temper that, and the devil, you know, like the passion for this feminine before he comes in. So he comes in correct, and he doesn't look bad. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to fix that part of him to regulate. So he comes in grounded and a lot more clear-headed and confident to speak his truth and more calm demeanor. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. Okay. I'm definitely, I just heard, you know, the S word, sexual desire. Definitely just heard that again. Very strong. Passion, very strong. Just pulled to this feminine. What else, Spirit? What else does the collective need to know at this time for their highest and greatest good? This has been coming out too. I'm picking up on, I'm going to say the word twin flame dynamic, okay? And this maybe for twin flames, this part of the message. So we'll see if it's all a twin flame message, but there's a, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here how to speak this. So what is it, Spirit? How do I say this? So the feminine, when this masculine does finally come in, there's going to maybe be some testing, okay, that the masculine is going to do. I don't think this is in the physical, though. I feel like this is more energetic. Going to be like a test in your energy. Seeing if you're going to fall back and start thinking of them a lot or ruminating on them, or, you know, like whatever it is, watching tarot a lot. Because he's testing your energy. He's coming in and he's testing to see your boundaries, if you're going to fall back into looking outside of yourself instead of balancing the masculine and feminine within you and staying grounded and balanced and tempered. So there is a call for the feminine to work on that, because when this masculine, you know, before he does come in, right before he comes in, he's going to be testing you energetically, pulling on your energy, seeing if you're going to fall back into thinking about him, ruminating about him, and off yourself, you know, thinking about him outside of yourself instead of putting the focus back on yourself. So there's going to be some tests there. So you're probably going to be feeling that stronger before he comes in the physical. So I'm just saying that. If you do find yourself falling back into, you know, maybe, you know, watching tarot like crazy again, or thinking about him constantly, like just do your best to try to redirect your thoughts back to yourself and what you're working on, your creations, your life purpose, your family, whatever. It's going to be back on yourself, because that's the test that it's occurring. That's what you're being guided to focus on, that and see it for what it is and catch yourself and move back into oneness with within, where you're whole and healed within yourself, where you don't need to look outside yourself for external validation that somebody loves you, right? You're looking at yourself, you're finding your purpose, you're moving in your purpose, you are healing yourself, and you don't need anybody in the physical to prove that you are worthy of being loved when you love yourself and show up for yourself and you're focusing on yourself and self-love. That's the message coming through for the feminine. That's resonating for this. So be on the lookout for those tests energetically, because because they're coming in. I'm feeling like it's already happening. It's coming in for some feminines right now. But if you haven't, you know, you've been in a more balanced state, thinking about this person less and less, that's going to be tested. And, you know, again, just keep moving forward, focusing on yourself when those tests come in. So, and then when he comes in, you know, he's going to feel safe to come in and speak his truth by that time, because you'll be more grounded, detached, you know, state, detached from the need to have his validation when he comes in and shows up in the physical. You know, you won't feel the need to respond, right? You know what I mean? Like, you'll be a lot more grounded and tempered. And you may be triggered. Some may be going through triggers still, healing through triggers. So again, that's part of the process. So for your own inner healing, so you can ascend and move more and stronger into your life purpose, and your abilities will be expanded and grown, your psychic and intuitive abilities. So again, look at it from a higher perspective. When this masculine comes in, it's for your highest and greatest good. If you are triggered into a triggered response of blocking him or whatever, again, you can do it. It's free will, but look at it from a higher perspective, how your reaction is if you do respond in a triggered way. Like, even I'm hearing like even this message could be triggering you to want to comment on this, like, you know, thinking that, oh, heck no, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, he's blocked. That's a triggered response. That is a triggered response in itself. So if you're commenting or thinking that as you're watching this, that's something you're being called to look at, because there's a reason why you're being triggered in that way. So that's just the message. I'm just a messenger. So please don't throw hate at me. I'm just sharing whatever I'm getting to share. And again, I take a lot of these messages myself because, you know, I am on the same twin flame journey as well of inner healing and learning how to ground and detach. So it is a process. It can be difficult, but you can do it. So I'm gonna write that down. I'm writing this down. What else, Spirit, does the collective need to know at this time for their highest and greatest good? I'm definitely picking up on Empress energy. I just heard Empress too. So the feminine is in her Empress energy, embodying the energy of all four queens in the tarot right now. So you have been doing a lot of work, self-love, you know, working on balancing and healing those triggers, those wounds of abandonment, lack of self-worth, rejection wounds, things like that. You're doing good. So continue working on yourself. You're in your Empress energy, so that's wonderful. That's a huge feat in itself right there, of that act of self-love, creating boundaries, laying clear, healthy boundaries with people who no longer resonate for you, who take more than they give, and pour that love back into yourself instead of overburden yourself with giving more to other people than they're giving back to you. The even reciprocation of relationships you're now seeing, where certain relationships, friendships, whatever, even jobs in your life were taking more than they were giving you, and you're removing yourself from those situations and those people and whatever dynamics to, you know, get more balance back in your life. And that's what you've been guided to do. And you're doing great. That's a message for a collective out here. You're doing great. They're happy. divine and the angels are happy for you that you're doing this, because it's a huge feat. You are showing people in the world that don't know their way, that are still in darkness. They're all awakening. We're all awakening on some level, but you're showing them the way. When you do this inner work, you're showing them that it can be done, and you're showing them how you did it through those actions. Yes, it's going to trigger other people that are on a lower vibration, that are taking more than receiving from you and others. They're going to have a choice, a free will choice, to either look at themselves, introspect, self-reflect, and try to see why that happened. Maybe that's in their their actions, and hopefully try to fix that. Again, it's a free will choice, but you got to release and detach from helping them. I'm getting, because this came out in yesterday's reading, the taking on emotional burdens that are not yours for others' healing and others seeing the truth in the matter of their actions. And you've got to learn how to detach. This is a clear message coming through from yesterday, specifically for those who are taking on the emotional burden of, and how do I say this? What's the word, Spirit? You're taking on the healing, you're taking on the burden and trying to help heal others when they need to see that and reflect within themselves and do the work themselves, is kind of what I'm getting at. And I hope that comes through clear for you to understand. I feel like a lot of people are in their Queen of Cups, and they sometimes will overgive. Of more feminine presence, I'm getting more feminine energy. They'll overgive because of the empathy they feel towards, the other people, and they would just want to offer their cup and help guide them to heal, and they keep pouring into them, and the person is not hearing them. They're not getting the message that, they need to help themselves, that they just want to receive from other people, right? And you're overgiving to them, trying to help them. In your mind, you're doing the right thing. You're trying to be, loving and kind. But the divine is calling you to look at that. If you are still in that energy a little bit, you're being tested and shown that, you're being called to work on that, fixing that, and stopping that wherever it's occurring. It could be with specific individuals in your life that you just have a contract with to learn this lesson. Again, looking at it from a higher perspective. Don't look at it and point the finger at the other person. It's all their fault, blah, blah, blah. They were taken. And look at it from a higher perspective, because, a part of you, there was a lesson there you had to learn. And whether we like to hear it or not, we had a part in it. We had to learn a lesson. And so that's a specific message for, somebody or a group of people out there to, you might still be tested and start noticing, you're still overgiving to some people, whether it's your energy, your time, your love, your attention. You got to look at that. So again, take it as it resonates, if it resonates for you. But that's a message I'm getting for somebody, to look at where you're overgiving to people and try and take on their emotional burdens and trying to help guide them to heal in certain ways and do certain actions to do that, when they need to self-reflect and get that help themselves. They need to try to do that. Your job is to create boundaries, to protect yourself and your energy from no longer leaking or leaching, and they're feeding off of you, and you're being drained because of it. Your finances are being drained. Your abundance is being drained for overgiving to people and not pouring all of that into yourself, because you have to have a full cup to give from. And if you are still overgiving to certain people in your life, trying to help them, then you're losing your abundance and your finances and your love for yourself that you could be pouring into yourself, and you're beginning to get out of balance. So just, there's a message to be watchful for that for somebody. So again, take it if it resonates. I'm going to write that down. Watch over giving to others, including taking on emotional burdens that are not yours. Others to heal themselves. What else, Spirit? What else does the collective need to know at this time? There's a lot of grounding energy coming through. I'm getting sacral a lot. I'm getting root chakra. So again, this is tied to your abundance. This work, this little bit of work you need to still work on is tied to your abundance, your root chakra. So when you start to focus more on self-love and pouring more in that energy and time and love into yourself, you know, whether it's small ways you can pamper yourself, like taking a hot Epsom salt bath, or, go getting your hair cut and getting a new hairstyle, making you feel beautiful, or, doing a sugar scrub on your body in the bath. I mean, whatever it is that makes you feel pampered and you're showing love for yourself. You're, listen to your favorite music, singing, dancing, whatever it is that brings you joy and makes you feel happy and better about yourself. That's what you need to be focusing more on right now, pouring that into yourself. Because, you're probably dealing with, you're trying to temper your emotions and temper yourself because you're overgiving in some areas to some people or things. So there's a message there to look out for that and to try to work on that a little bit more for some of you. So again, take it as it resonates. But it is tied to your abundance. Once you start getting more in balance with not overgiving, your abundance will start flowing in more. Okay? That's tied to your abundance. Doing this inner work. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit? Thank you for messages for the collective that they need to know at this time. I'm getting the grounding again. Because I'm hearing grounding. May be important. So go out in nature, go out for, walks, try to ground one of your bare feet on the grass, on the ground. Again, if it's raining and you can't, really do that, you can, ground with breathing exercises and visualizations. You can look that up on, Google, obviously, but you can also do like Epsom salt baths are very grounding too. But yeah, that's another message coming out to stay grounded, because I feel like there's a lot of changes that are coming. Once you do this inner work and you focus on that and you become more stable and more tempered and grounded, the abundance is going to start flowing. Things are going to start moving faster and faster. And then boom, who knows, this, if you're resonating with twin flame, this person could come in the midst of all this, not like a roller coaster, but I just got goosebumps. It's like the wheel is turning. Woo! The chariot and the wheel. I'm just like getting goosebumps really all over my body with that message. So it's gonna be slow, and then as you're working on yourself, because those abundance and those blessings are being blocked. But once you start focusing more on self-love and taking your mind off this other person, when the energetic tests do hit you, to want to think about them, watch tarot readings, whatever it is, and you're pulling back to yourself and redirecting your energy to yourself. Once you get more and more stable doing that over time, things are going to start moving faster, and the wheel's going to start going a lot faster. And you're being called to continually stay in that grounded state and tempered state, because you're going to need that for what's coming, for the action and the movement that's coming, because it's going to be a lot for some of you. It's going to be a lot coming at you really fast. Opportunities, creative expression, wanting to come out for your projects, whatever it is, it's going to start moving fast and flowing, and abundance is going to start rolling in with that. And when I say abundance, it's not just financial, it's in all areas of your life. People coming in to assist you and support you and show you love because you're showing yourself love. It's that kind of stuff, like abundance in all areas of your life. I'm hearing psychic abilities too. That's also with psychic abilities. I'm writing that down. Anything else, Spirit? Any other signs of confirmation that the collective needs to know at this time? I mean, obviously 77 came out as a number synchronicity early in the reading. I am seeing 99 now. I know that came out yesterday, 99. What else, Spirit? What other signs? I say 1111. What other sign, Spirit? Some of you may be seeing 1122 and 1144. Some number synchronicities. 1222. That's another number one. 79 came through. That may be significant for somebody. Maybe that was somebody's year of birth, or you're seeing 79. 26. That's another number, and 23. What else, Spirit? 444 and 333 and 222 as well. I'm hearing temporary, and I'm asking Spirit what message needs to come, if there's a message that needs to come with this. Okay, Spirit, clarity on this, please. Sorry, it's my dog walking around. What is it about this temporary? I feel like there's a message there for somebody. I mean, I'm hearing temporary situation. So, with this, I'm seeing movement, but I'm seeing somebody, I don't know, it came out. So, take it if it resonates, but some of you may be moving, like doing a temporary move to move out of somewhere. And then, you know, there's going to be a more permanent move. But with that, I'm just getting like somebody may be moving. And again, take it only if it resonates for you, or you may be considering a temporary move to get out of a situation and to get more temperance and more peace and stuff in your life. That's coming through for somebody. Anything else, Spirit, before I pull signs of confirmation oracle cards for people? I just heard somebody's got it bad for you. That came through very clearly. And I just got a, that's a message from somebody's ancestor. I just got that. So you may feel like one of your ancestors, I'm feeling, I don't know, maybe, again, take it if it resonates, more feminine is coming through. You know, an ancestor of yours, maybe a grandmother or something, mother, is like giving you this message. They got it bad for you, honey. Like, they want you really bad. Like they're trying to put in the work for you. That's coming through for somebody. Again, take it if it resonates. If you know or have suspected it or been told by other intuitives that, you know, you've got a maternal, you know, ancestor around you, you know, again, you will know that if this is your message. So, or if you already know that. So obviously, ancestors are watching over you and assisting you and guiding you at this time, bringing things in, blocking things out. They're assisting the angels and your guides with this right now. They're acting like a guide in a way. Some of you, is that, yeah. And of course, Archangel Michael came through just now with that message. He's been coming out a lot with the collective I've been speaking with lately. Archangel Michael has been assisting with protecting you and your energy and from spiritual warfare and attacks from others that are being triggered from you creating more boundaries and giving less to others and removing yourself from toxic environments. And it could be in the past, or you could be going through this right now. So what is there any messages for this collective for anything that is going to happen in the future here, in the near future? Obviously, I did pull through and I'm being reminded about the wheel turning faster and faster once this inner work is done on the feminine side. And, you know, magnetization will happen with this masculine once she takes her focus off of him completely, consistently, and the tests have happened and she consistently, you know, it gets stronger and stronger, not being pulled into thinking about him, and puts it right back on herself. And, you know, the abundance is tied to that abundance that's going to come in, is what I'm getting as far as the future. If you do this work, again, we all have free will choice. And that is, I feel like there's something coming through, another message coming through here before I pull oracles. Spirit, what is this message? I feel like something needs to come through, a message for somebody. Be mindful of who you're hanging out with right now. That came through for somebody. So protect your energy. You're being called to protect your energy from negativity, negative influences, negative attachments from people that you're hanging out with that are trying to tempt you to go back into old ways, old patterns, old habits. It could be addictions. Again, take it how it resonates for you. But be mindful, on the guard, looking for that. And the more you're grounded, obviously, and tempered, the less you'll tend to react to these tests and all that. You'll start seeing it for what it is from a higher point of view, because you will have ascended past those tests, but you're going to be tested again and tempted. And so be on the lookout for that. Protect your energy, remove yourself, try to protect your energy and remove yourself as much as possible from, you know, other people that may not be of the same vibration, higher mindedness, that they're not, you know, of a higher mind. A deception will be shown, I'm hearing, when it's right. Like when you need to see the deception that somebody's trying to put on a facade, and maybe something feels off with their energy, like something just feels off, you're feeling vibrationally or empathetically with this person, but you don't see it in their actions yet, it will be shown. It'll be brought to the truth, to the surface at some point for you to see. So, you know, again, like if you're feeling something's off with somebody that you're hanging out with or whatever, trust your intuition and start removing your energy and detaching from that person. And eventually you'll start seeing, I'm getting a triggered response from that person, or, you know, they're trying to come back in even stronger to tempt you to hang out with them, or, you know, come back or whatever, so you can overgive or be, you know, down to their level of vibration. So be on the lookout for that. That's what I'm getting. Protect your energy. Okay, Spirit, what deck do we want to pull from at this time? What deck do we want to pull through? Pull from. I'm getting pull from is what I meant to say, is what I'm saying. All right, let's see what comes out in these little messages. I've got to get some more note cards. I keep forgetting to add that to my grocery list. I'm going to order from Walmart.com. I need to like go to Dollar General somewhere and get some cardstock, or, you know, wherever. I want to do the printable ones, and the little thicker cardstock, so they're smaller, so it'll be easier for me to shuffle through. Spirit, what messages do you have for this collective watching this video at this time? Signs of confirmation or other messages out of this deck that you want them to see at this time? Again, signs of confirmation. What do they need to know? Sacral chakra, like I said, That's, you know, been coming up. The passion, the desire, the creation energy. The Empress, you know, you're creating. So you may be called to create more for yourself, more finances, create passion projects, do creations, whether that's music, whether that's song, you know, whether it's whatever it is, like physical, you know, jewelry, whether it's whatever it is, you know, for people. It could be creating anything like that. That, you know, like your spiritual purpose, your life purpose work that you feel passion for. But this masculine's got a lot of strong passion and sexual desire for you too. So that's coming through too. It's reflecting. So just keep focusing on your creations and your tempering. I miss you badly. That's this masculine coming through, giving you a message, and he misses you very badly. And that's what I was hearing from that, you know, feminine ancestor, that somebody's got it bad for you, girl, honey. That's what I heard. Somebody's got it bad for you, honey. And I mean bad. So, I don't feel worthy. This is this worthiness wound that I feel like, you know, yes, the feminine has been healing and has been working on healing this worthiness wound of needing to chase outside of herself, look for external validation from this masculine and others, for love outside of herself instead of giving it back to herself. Also, the masculine has been reflecting this and overgiving to people in his life. And he's learning those lessons now. Tower moments are happening because now he's been feeling he's not worthy, which is why he didn't go towards the feminine in the proper way. Look at that, Empress just fell right out. Y'all saw that. So that's a sign of confirmation. Thank you, Spirit, for the Empress energy I was picking up on for this collective. That's a sign of confirmation. You are in your Empress energy. High-level soulmate relationship or kingdom spouse may be coming in. And it may be it may be your twin flame comes back when you move forward with a kingdom spouse that's coming in. And you may already have this high-level soulmate in your life. Again, take it how it resonates, but I'm getting that, you know, you focusing on yourself and pouring all that love in yourself, you're going to be attracting love in all forms in your life, whether it's friendships, you know, high-level soulmates helping you with projects like friends, or a love relationship, a high-level soulmate love relationship. You'll be attracting love in all forms. That's your abundance you're attracting. I just got goosebumps. This is a sign of confirmation. Keeping secrets or hidden information. And this, I'm picking up for this. This is this person. Like, I feel like that message that somebody got for be careful who you hang out with and the deception. That, I feel like that's coming out for that person that got that message, that resonates for that message. So somebody's been possibly hanging out with you or around you, keeping secrets